Hello guys, my name is Evans and welcome to this video tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be winding up on the 2016 May-June Paper 3-1 exam series. And in the last video, we were looking at sections on web authoring, and then in this video, we're going to dive into data analysis. Okay, so task 3, you're going to prepare a spreadsheet to manage the budgets and create charts comparing 6 global projects. Unless working in local currencies, display all currency values rounded to the nearest US dollar. The file 1631currency.csv contains information about countries and their currencies. Make sure that you use the most efficient methods to do each task. Step 14. Using a suitable software package, load the file 1631sheet.csv. Okay, so let's go ahead and load that file. Uh, okay, so it should be here. What am I doing? Should be here. I was looking, where is the file? Okay, so it should be this one. So let's go ahead and load this file. And I'm using Excel. I don't know what spreadsheet package that you guys use in your school, but the most common one is Excel. Okay, so this is the 1631 sheet Excel file. Okay, next step. Save this file as a spreadsheet with the file name 1631 underscore and your name, your center number and candidate number. For example, 1631 underscore Z8 ZZ 999 underscore 9999, and insert two new rows above row 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to save this as a spreadsheet. So save as in the current folder, save it as a workbook, and then you are saving it as ZM556 underscore 0001. Okay, save, and then we are to insert two new records. So insert one and insert the second one, 2. Next step, step 15. In cell A1, enter the title TMCP Projects 2016. And then let me just put that, copy it, and I'm going to paste it in cell A1 as it is. I shouldn't have copied. Yeah, I didn't realize that copying a file from an HTML document would take a while than just typing it. Okay, so I think we won't copy from HTML document. So in cell A2, enter your name, center number, and candidate number. So name, Skasa Evans, ZM556001. Okay, step 16. Match the cells A1 to H1 and format this cell so that text is center aligned with a white 36-point sans serif font, and it should have a black background. Okay, so A1 to H1 should be merged and centered. Background should be black and foreground should be white, and it should be 36 points, and it should be a sans serif font, so Calibri is still fine. It's a sans serif font. Okay, so just go through. We've made the cells A1 to H1, and we've made the text center aligned, and then it has a white foreground, and it is 36 points. It's a sans serif font, and it has a black background, and exactly this is what we have here. Okay, step 17. In cell B4, enter a function to look up from the external file 1631 currency.csv the name of the currency for Honduras. Okay, now guys, just right here in B4, this is where you're typing the formula. Okay, and when you're looking when you're using lookup functions like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, you have the lookup value, you have the range or your table array, then you have the index, the column index, and whether you're going to retrieve an exact match of that or an approximate match, and so on and so forth. Okay, so in our case, we are told that the name of the country in question that we are looking up is Honduras. So Honduras becomes our lookup value. Okay, and then the file in which we are going to get compare or find where we're going to see Honduras is this file called 1631.csv. Okay, and what we are retrieving is the currency. Okay, so a column that contains the currency is what we will be retrieving from that file. Okay, and then we should look for an exact match. Okay, so let's go right to the file in question, this one. Just open it and then let's see what is happening. Okay, so it has got country, it has got the ISO 4217, these are standards, and then it has got the currency here, and has got the exchange rate. Okay, so let me just enlarge this. Okay, so it's got the exchange rate. Okay, and this is what we have. Let me just go back here. Okay, so where is Honduras? Honduras H. No, they are not arranged in alphabetical order, but Honduras is here. So the currency for Honduras is lempira. Okay, lempira. So what we're saying is that we want to move around this, search through this CSV file. Okay, when we search through each, we are going to search vertically. Okay, so which means we are going to use VLOOKUP. As you can see, the items here are arranged in multiple rows. So when you have multiple rows, when you have more number of rows than you have the number of columns, then you're going to use VLOOKUP. When you have more number of columns than rows, then you're going to use HLOOKUP. Okay, so this is how you are able to tell where to use VLOOKUP or where to use HLOOKUP. Just simple way that you can tell that you're supposed to use VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. In our case, we have only 4 rows, rather 4 columns: column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, A to D, and we have over, this should be over 183 to be precise, rows. So that shows we are going to use VLOOKUP, okay, to look up this. Now, what I'm going to do is just to get the name of this file, because I'll need it when writing down the VLOOKUP function. So we are told to put in B4, okay, in B4. So B4 is here. So in B4 we want equal to VLOOKUP. Okay, and we specify the lookup value. Now the lookup value is the one that we have here. So it's Honduras, which is B3. Okay, B3, comma, the table array. Now the table array is the one that we have the CSV, the currency 1631 currency.csv file, and that's the one which we have as the table array. So I'm going to just type this. Now we need to specify, let me just put here, we need to specify the name of the file, which is 1631.csv. okay, this is the name of the file where we want to compare the lookup value with what we want to retrieve from this file. Okay, so then you put exclamation mark like that. Okay, now the exclamation mark, rather after the exclamation mark, you're now going to specify the referencing, the cell referencing where you want to look up such a value. Okay, so if you go back to the currency here, we have the last value is in column D. Okay, column D, row 183. So that is D183. That's the last value, and then The first one is, as usual, A2. So we are looking up the table array that we have is from A2 to D183. Okay, so now, so that this doesn't change, we're going to say absolute A2, okay, to absolute D183. Okay, so this is the range that we have of the different cells that we're going to use. Now, the other thing, guys, that I forgot to mention is that if we're going to include cell D into this column, of course it will work perfectly, but we need to be very careful here, because it's pointless to include cell D when we are not using cell D here. I'll show you at what point we are going to use cell D, but in this case we are not using cell D. Now cell D, not cell D, column D. Column D is the conversion of the local currency to the foreign currency rather, and we are not using this one here. So instead of having D, I would rather end at C. So from A2 to C183, which is column C, where the currency is supposed to be. Okay, so the next thing is the column index. Now the column index is actually the column count, or let me just say it is the column where we want the values to be retrieved from. Okay, we want the values that will be displayed when there is a match or when the found is true. Okay, so how you come up with the column index is that you count from the lookup value. The lookup value becomes the column where the lookup value is actually becomes the first index number or column index. Okay, so in our case, this one becomes 1, B becomes 2, and C becomes 3. Now we want to retrieve the currency that is in column 3, so that becomes 3. Okay, and the last part shows whether you want an approximate match or an exact match. In our case, we want an exact match. So if you put true or false, that's still fine. Okay, now you know also that 1 corresponds to true and 0 corresponds to false. So if you put 0 here, it's still fine, and if you put false, you are still fine. Okay, so that is that. So hit enter key, and you will see that the value that will be retrieved is lempira on this part. So what I'm going to do is to just click here and just double click here to resize this so that these cells are actually the headers and all the field names are actually visible. Okay, so we have managed to retrieve lempira, and we are done with step 17. Now we go to step 18. In cell B5, enter a function to total the sum of money in local currency for the Honduras project. Okay, now we want to find out how much money is there for Honduras project. Okay, so come back here. Now project is this one here. Okay, so the project in question is this one, and we want to find out how much money. This is the amount. So where we find this Honduras, for example, Honduras 3.85, Honduras 98.06, and so on and so forth. So we want to total how many or how much of this money is as a result of totaling values for Honduras. So to do that, you're going to enter a formula. So equal to sum, and you're not just adding the values or the amounts for Honduras. No, I mean for you're adding the amounts for Honduras. So there is a condition. You only add when it's Honduras. Okay, so instead of using sum, you use sum if. Okay, so sum if, what it does is that it adds the range of cells, okay, specified by a given criteria. Okay, so when a particular range of cells meet a given criteria, then we add them. For example, cells, we can add all cells or all amounts which are greater than let's say $50. Okay, so that should be the case. Okay, so I'm gonna just do if, and then we provide the range. Now the range I'm going to start from from B9, okay, because the country we are looking for Honduras, the country, the project name which is supposed to come from Honduras, starts from absolute B9. So B9, okay, scroll down um, all the way to B 198. Okay, now what I just did was to hold Control key and then just tap on the ranges of cells that I want. Now the other thing, guys, that you notice is that we need to have these cells as absolute. So I'm going to tap F4 key on my keyboard, and you will see that automatically Access makes these cells as absolute referencing. Okay, because when you do relative referencing, not referencing, referencing. Good. So when you do absolute referencing, you are saying that the cells in range will not change. Whenever you replicate the formula, the cells in range will not change. But when you do relative referencing, the cells in range are going to adjust corresponding to the how you're dragging those cells, so they will keep on adjusting. Now you find that as you adjust or increase these replicate these cells, you find that they also keep on moving and you'll be out of range. Okay, so this is why absolute referencing is a very powerful feature in Excel that you can use to keep on referring to the same cell over and over as long as need be. Okay, so we're done with that. So what I need to do now is to specify the value or the criteria. Okay, what should be added. Okay, what should be added. So what should be added is that the criteria is that we want only what is coming from Honduras. Okay, we can say what is coming from Indonesia, or what is coming from Maldives, or what is coming from Bermuda, but we want what is coming from Honduras. That's the criteria. Now the sum range are the actual cells that you are going to add. If this criteria is met, what are the cells that you are going to add? So the sum range is from B9, or rather C9, and you scroll down all the way to the last cell. Okay, to the last cell. Hold Control key and tap there. Not Control key, sorry. Shift key. Okay, let me just do that again. So hold so let's delete this, just undo this one. Okay, there you go. Hold Shift key and then hold Shift key and tap the last cell there. What is happening? I keep on pardon me. What I want is from C9. ah, what I want is from C9. Okay, just do that. Okay, let's do that one more time. I know I can easily do something else, but I want to do this one. So hold Shift key and scroll down. Am I scrolling down? I don't know what's happening, guys, with my computer. I've literally left the mouse on its own, and it keeps on just moving down, moving down, moving down. No. So there we go. Now, so so what we want is to select that. So I'm gonna tap F4 on my keyboard once more to just have these cells um, made as absolute referencing. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna just go through this one more time. Absolute referencing is very vital when you are going to refer to a cell or reference to a cell whose value should not be changing. Okay, so in our case, we want to sum or to add up amounts of money where the amount only corresponds to that coming from Honduras. Okay, so we did sum if range. The range is the cells in which we are going to compare the criteria. Okay, So you have the criteria, which is B3, which is in our case Honduras. So the criteria Honduras, you are going to be comparing it with the range of cells that you have here. Okay, and what you'll be retrieving each time there is a match for Honduras, that value will be summed up and added, and the total is going to be displayed. So in our case, hit enter key and you should see a total there. So this is what is coming from adding up all the values that correspond to Honduras, like this one here, and stuff. So when you add up all these values that correspond to Honduras, then you have that. Okay, I hope that is clear, guys. And that is step 17. Step 18. Okay, yeah, that was step 18. I hope I don't skip any step. Okay, so step 19. In cell B6, enter a formula to look up from the external file CS. So let me just copy the name of this file so that I don't have to type it. The external file CSV 1631 currency.csv, the exchange rate from the local currency to US dollars for Honduras. And then we're going to multiply this value by the total number, or by the total for the local currency rounded to the nearest dollar. Okay, guys, you need to understand this question before you even attempt it. In cell B6, enter a formula to look up from the external file. So the file that we are looking up is the currency file. Okay, and then what are we looking up? We are looking up the exchange rate. Okay, so we're trying to retrieve the exchange rate from the local currency to US dollar for Honduras. Okay, and then we are going to multiply this value by the total number of local currency, or by the total for the local currency rounded to the nearest 100. So which means we have the round function here, and then we have the multiplication and stuff, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this, maybe to make more sense when we start to do that. So in cell B6 is this one, cell B6, excuse me. Okay, so we have VLOOKUP. As usual, we are using VLOOKUP because we are comparing cells that are more in terms of number of rows than the number of columns. Okay. Now, let's say VLOOKUP, and then what are we looking up? It is the country Honduras. Okay, and what we want to retrieve from Honduras is, okay, let me just put first of all the quotes there. Just put it here. Okay, so from this currency, from the currency file, we want to retrieve. Okay, now we need to specify the range of cells that we are going to be working with. Now remember, in the other video, the other section, the range of cells that we want are absolute A2. Okay, so from from the country Honduras is what is going to be retrieved. So from A2 to the last cell, if you remember very well, the last cell in the other section was 183, if I'm not mistaken. So it should be, in this case, we are going to go all the way to D183. Now remember, last time I said that we won't go all the way to D, we went just to C, column C. But this time we've gone to column D because what we want is the exchange rate. Okay, so we are going to put comma. Now what we're going to retrieve now is the column index. Now the column index, like I said, is the column count from the lookup value. The lookup value is column A, which is Honduras, and it is found in column A. So which means column A becomes 1, column B becomes 2, column 3 becomes 3, and then column D becomes 4. And this is the exchange rate we want to retrieve from this column. So this one becomes 4. And what are we retrieving? We are retrieving an exact match and not an approximate match. So we want something to do with false. Okay, and close that. Now guys, something else is going to happen here. Now remember, this is going to work perfectly fine. Okay, this is going to work perfectly fine, and there you have the value here. But this is incomplete. We've just done one part. We've just been able to retrieve the conversion, the exchange rate, or yeah, the exchange rate for Honduras. Okay, now we are going to do another thing here. We are told that we should multiply this value by the total for the local currency. Okay, by the total for the local currency. So how do we know the total for the local currency? So let's come back here. So we go here, the total is this one, B5. Okay, so this one, say multiply by the total for local currency, which is B5, and hit enter key on your keyboard, and this is the value that you have retrieved. Now we are yet to finish this. Now we are told that we should round this to the nearest dollar. Okay, so let's round it to the nearest dollar. Okay, now to do that, we're going to put the function round and then bracket. Now at the end of the function, we need to specify, because it takes in the number that we want to round, and the number that we want to round, this number that we want to round is this one that is coming from this expression here, and then we are rounding it to the nearest dollar. So just put 0, which means you don't want any number of decimal places availed or available or shown or displayed. Okay, so put that at the end. Okay, so go through this statement, guys. It's very important. Round, VLOOKUP, B3, currency, and whatever. So I did step by step so that you guys can do that. Now, if you're very confident, you can start just typing equal to round, then VLOOKUP, then whatever. But you can also start from the inside and then going outside, and it will work out perfectly. And so this is what you have as the value displayed when that is the case. Okay, so step 19 is done. Okay, now step 20, replicate the formula entered in step 17, 18, and 19 for each project. Okay, so go back here. We need to replicate this one. So the formula entered is here, so just drag across up to here, and then get this one, drag across up to here, and then get this one, drag across up to here. Now you'll notice that there will be hashtags that will be displayed there. In most programs, when you see a hashtag, it just shows you that the cell in question is not the width of the cell is, or the size of the cell is small. So just select the entire table by clicking here, and then double click anywhere else, and you'll see that that is going to be shown perfectly. Step 20, in cell H6, enter a function to add the total income in US dollar. Okay, so in cell H6, where is H6, we need to enter a function to add the total in dollar. So what you can do, just click here if you want, and then we know that we are summing up these. Okay, so just click on auto sum, and you see that automatically Excel picks up the cells that you want. Okay, and if you feel Excel has picked up the wrong cells, you can go ahead and type in the cells that you want there. But in my case, Excel has picked up the correct cells, and I just hit enter key on the keyboard, and that will be the total shown there. Okay, so step 21, sort the list of the individual donations into ascending order. Sort the list of the individual donations into ascending order. Pardon me. Sort the list of the individual donations into ascending order of project, then descending order of amount. Into ascending order of project, then descending order of amount. So we need to sort this. So just get these values. I hope, let me just verify this, guys. Let me just verify if I do need to get this one. So get this, Scroll down all the way. Okay, up to 180, 190. Oops, sorry, that was too much. Okay, it's just up to somewhere here. Wow, come on. I don't know what's up with Excel. When you hold the mouse and it just keeps on rolling down, scrolling and going, and oh, hoo, hoo. Okay, so let's try one more time. I hope it doesn't do what it did. Otherwise, we'll have to. Come on. That's all. Come on. Stop. Come on. Mm, come on. I just need this. Okay? Just here. Come on, just here. What's up? I don't know if it's my computer which is acting up or it's just this. Okay, so 194. I don't know, guys, what I'm gonna do. Um, it seems my computer is somewhat acting up. Let me see if I hold shift and tap up. Perfect. Okay, so these are the range of cells that I want to look at. So I want to go on custom sort. Now under custom sort, the first we're told first of all that we should sort the list of the individual's donation into ascending order of project. So the first thing is to sort it into ascending order of project. So sort by project A to Z, and then we need to add another level, and then by, okay, so then by descending order of amount. So come here, then by amount, largest to smallest. This is very important. Now I don't know if we have been given anything. Okay, no more showing of screenshots. So this is very important, so just click on OK, and you'll see that you should have all these values sorted out, beginning with B and then descending order and so on and so forth. Okay, so the thing that you should also notice is that you have um, to apply appropriate formatting onto all cells in the rows 3 to 6 inclusive. Okay, so you need to apply appropriate formatting to that. Okay, so what you need to do is to go back here, and then you need to change the currencies. Those are supposed to be in US dollar. You need to change them to US dollar. So I'll get this one and change it to US dollar. Okay, so currency, and I'll rather my default currency is supposed to be um, is pounds, but in the question we're told that all currencies should be shown to US dollar unless they are local currency. So in our case, let's just look for dollar symbol. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it's Australian or US dollar, as long as there's the dollar symbol there. Okay, so you have the dollar symbol. Now remember, guys, that we are not supposed to have the number of decimal places shown here. We are supposed to remove the decimal places, so it should be correct to 0 decimal places. So that is perfectly fine. Okay, so the next thing that we're supposed to do is to retrieve the currencies for these local the symbols, or the currency symbols for these local currencies. Now the dollar, this one is fine because these guys are using dollar. The ones that I question is the lempira, rupiah, and rufia. These are the ones that we have to really find the symbol for them. But anyway, I hope we do have some symbols like that. And so let's go to currency, and we'll change to dollar, correct to 1 decimal place. So let's get this Singapore. That should be fine. And okay, so we have the dollars shown here. That should be fine. The next thing that we are supposed to do is to show um, the Let me see. We picked up. Yeah. Hmm. I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking. I was thinking. I was thinking. I didn't select the correct. I was thinking, what? What's happening? But now, yeah, I see it's dollar symbol. I was thinking, what is this? Okay, now guys, let's go ahead and look for Lempira. I hope we do find Lempira, guys. I don't even know how it looks. Um, Chinese. So let's go for Honduras, Jamaica, Canada. Um, how, hmm, Latin, Greek. Okay, this is going to be some sort of work to do. Um, France, Monaco, uh, El, I can't find Honduras. Where is it? Spain, Thailand, Hebrew, Hindi. Ah, this is very okay, guys. If one of you sees Honduras here, can you please type it out? I'm just kidding. How can you see Honduras when this video, by the time you be watching it, I would have found Honduras already? Ah, so I don't know. What I should have done is to go through this video. Okay, there you go. Honduras. I was almost saying I should have done this video first so that I have an idea where to find Honduras. Okay, so there you go. Honduras, and then decimal places it should be zero. Now, yeah, that's L. Now, what I need to do is to get this other one, rupiah, Indonesia. I hope Indonesia is not difficult to find. So let's go currency, zero decimal places, and let's look for Indonesia. Indonesia, Indonesia, Indo, Indonesia, rupiah, Indonesia. Um, okay, Philippines, Philippine Island. Okay, I think this is the part that I won't like in Excel, guys. India. Okay, we're getting close. Malayan. Where is Indonesia, guys? Oh, if someone sees Indonesia, please show me. Indonesia, 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 Indo and Indonesia, Indonesia. My God, I'm just going down, 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 down. Portuguese, Indonesian. Oh, thank God, thank God. Okay, rupee, then rufia. Oh my God, rufia, guys. Do I need to? I think, guys, I need the Maldives. I need to Google this one. I have absolute no idea about what is going on with this currency or where and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just try to Google this one. Maldives currency. Okay, so let's see um, if we have some symbol of some kind. Ish. Let's say symbol. I have absolute no idea. Okay, where is it? This one. Is this not something to do with the Indian thing, rupee and stuff? Okay. Um, RF. Maybe RF would do. So let's look out for something like this, and then this icon finder, and then this. Okay. So let's see what is going to happen. At least we have an idea. Okay. I hope Cambridge doesn't prepare a paper like this again. Otherwise, it would take a lot of time for people to find these currencies. Some of these currencies, you know, many people would um, okay. So let's see. Maldive, Maldive. I can see Maldive here. Maldive, Maldive. I wish I printed my mark scheme nearby so that I just check the symbol. Um, Maldive, Moldova. Okay, that's Russia. Um, we don't see any symbol here. We just have letters, letters. Okay, here, there go the symbols again. Um, Libya. We have one symbol here, though I don't know. Divehi. Let's just find out. This is the symbol in question. Um, this one here. Let me just find out Divehi. Uh, Dive Divehi should be this one. Um, go to O. Yeah, Maldivian language. Okay, so it's a language. So Divehi. So that should be fine. Um, it's from Maldive. Um, I think Microsoft should not do this again. Ah, Microsoft should not do this again. That's a symbol there. Please, you can go ahead and confirm this in the in that. So what I want to just to confirm is if the local currencies should have the number of decimal places shown. Okay. Let's see. We are where we are here. So you are going to prepare and let's work in local currencies and let's work in local currencies. um, Display all currency values rounded to the nearest two decimal places. Okay, so in other words, rather display all currency values rounded to the nearest dollar. So in other words, for local currency, um, we don't need to do the rounding off. Okay, sorry about that. In For this one, we don't need to do the rounding off. So we can add some decimal places to this. Okay, so increase the decimal places like that. Increase this one, maybe 2 decimal places, and that I just wanted to make sure that we are doing the right thing. So increase the decimal places there, and lastly increase here. Okay, so the only one where we're not supposed to do the decimal places is this one. Right. Next step is step so we've applied the appropriate formatting to all cells in row 3 to 6 inclusive. Let's see if row 6 has been applied. Okay, so we have that. The next thing that we're supposed to do is to save our spreadsheet, and we should only print the cells A1 to I6 showing the formula. A1 to I6 showing the formula, and it should be in landscape. The rows and column headings should be displayed, and the contents of the cells should be fully visible. So A1 to I6 rather. Okay, A1 to I6. Let's just find out this. Is it A1? Print only the cells A1. Is this I6? This is this I or L? This is I6. I think it should be fine. Let's see. A1 is this one, and then we print to I and then 6 just here. Now these cells are supposed to show what before we them. So they're supposed to show the formula. So automatically let's just go ahead and change to the formula. So go to formulas and then show formula, and then just double click on this to have them. Yeah, so what I need to do now is to have these formulas shown. Now I don't know if I don't know if let me just expand these. It's gonna take a while. Just expand them. Now there are a lot, guys, and we've been told to print them. Okay, we need to expand them so that they are fully visible. I don't know if we were asked to do that. Let me just verify. Okay, make sure that the contents of these cells are fully visible, so we cannot afford not to expand them, so we need to expand them. Now the cell is becoming too wide. Okay, so just expand, expand, and yeah, so that is done. So all the contents of the cells are fully visible, and we need now to just make sure that let's see, we need to make sure that the rows and the column headings are visible as well. So let's come back here, come to file, then print, and we need to make sure that we are printing the selection. So just come back here, the selection is there, so go to file and change this to landscape. Okay, and make sure that you print only selected print selection. So change to print selection, and then go to page setup, go to sheet, and make sure that um, row and column headings are visible. Okay, so this is what you are going to have. So this is on A4. Now just verify before you do that. So we are done showing that the formula has been shown. Okay, and we have displayed in landscape orientation, and the row and column headings are displayed, and the contents are fully visible. So as you can see, the contents are fully visible. Okay, so that is fine. Now I don't know if I can put some grid lines just to make sure that we're not told to put grid lines, but it would be nice just to see the demarcations that are there, because without the grid lines you won't be able to see the demarcations like this. Okay, so I feel it's just, and now, like I said, we've not been told to do this, so we just did it anyway. So let's try to fit um, columns in one page. That's too much. Rows in one page. Okay, that's fine. So you have that, in this, that. Now they are broken into pieces and they don't look so good, but we have no choice. Okay, as long as we've done the right thing, we have no choice. Okay, but they look broken into pieces. That should be fine. Okay, whether we have 10 pieces or 50 pieces, it should be fine. So go ahead and print this, guys. I think we've done the setting of this, and it should come out perfectly. So go ahead and print this. One of the things that you just be mindful of is that you need to select the cells that you want, and then select here that you want to print only cells that are highlighted. Okay, so next thing that we're going to do is let me just go back here. The next thing that we want to do, so we make sure that the printout that we have center number, candidate number on your spreadsheet, on your spreadsheet showing the formula. Okay, so in other words, before you even print this, you can put just go there, go to page setup, and go to head and footer, and you can put your custom header. On the left side I will say Chikasa Evans, and then here will be ZM556, and then this one will be 0001. Okay, and just say that, and so you have this shown on your header. Okay, so when you print this, you have the details shown on the header like that. So it's very important. Next step, I think, should be step 25. Print the spreadsheet showing the values. Make sure that the printout fits on a single page, and then contents of all cells are fully visible. So go ahead again, go back here and hide the formulas, or hide the formulas, and then reduce this. So just make sure that the cells are reduced because you are now dealing with the values. Okay, now this is what we want to see. Now we're told that we need to make sure that these cells are fully visible, so we can see they're visible. So let's just check in the print preview if they will be visible. So let's change the settings now. We don't need to have orientation in portrait because this is purely landscape thing. Now notice how we are just shown um, just a few rows. Okay, we're not showing the entire data, so select this to active sheet and then just no scaling, and then you should have something like that. Okay, so we have all the cells fully visible, and let's just verify this. Where am I? Where am I, guys? Okay, it should be here. So printer fits on a single page. Okay, so I think we did this. Its fit should be, let's try it to fit on a single page. Okay. No, it should be fit on a single page wide. Yeah, single page wide, not single page wide. So that shouldn't be the case. So it should be columns, fit all columns on one page, so that going across, all columns should be fit on one page. Okay, so the next thing that we're supposed to do is that the contents must be fully visible. That's okay. So make sure that the center number, candidate number, they're also fully visible. So we did that in the last printout, and that should be perfectly fine. So go ahead and print this. Okay, I'm not going to print that myself. In case you're wondering why I'm not hitting on the printer, as you can see, my printer is almost ready, waiting for thing. But it's a waste of time for me to print this anyway. Okay, so step 26, extract only the data for Fiji and the Maldives, where the amount of the donations was more than 90. And okay, so we need to extract just this. Okay, so let's go. So we need, the criteria is that we need to extract Fiji and Maldives, and then amount greater than 19. So go here, go back, and then select we need to select the data only for this. So let's see, so get this and scroll down all the way. Okay, right. Right, okay, so that's the last one there. So now we need to extract the data from here. So this is called filtering, guys. So we go to home and let's try to filter. Okay, filter only data showing for, so, and select, so just select Fiji and Maldives. Okay, I hope I did the right thing. I do have Bermuda on top here. I don't know for some reason why. Let me just undo this one. Let's try to get it from here. You shouldn't have Bermuda available or showing because the values that you've been told to select are only Fiji and Maldives. So let's try to get this one. I hope it gets right. Okay, so cause ish, come on, Excel, what's wrong with you? Hmm? What's wrong with you? Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, perfect. So let's go to filter. Okay, and then let's try to get some values. Yeah, this is perfect now. So we need to get only Fiji and Maldives. Okay, or if you don't want to use this criteria, whilst it was like this, you can come to text filter and say equals and then specify Fiji, okay, and again equals Maldives. So Maldives, I don't know if it is Maldives. I hope it's Maldives, guys. Then say okay. Okay, so it didn't show anything. So I think I did spell something incorrect. It's supposed to be Fiji and Maldives. Okay, let's try this one more time. Um, so text filter is supposed to be equal to Fiji, and let's see if it will work out. If we have some Fiji, yeah, there we go. We have Fiji, and then supposed to be also, and it's supposed to be equal to Maldives. Maldives. Okay. I don't know why it's not showing Maldives. Ah, I don't know why it's not showing Maldives. Um, okay. What I'm going to do is just to ignore this part. I'll just put um, Fiji and Maldives. The other thing maybe could have been to just put Fiji here. I don't know. I like to try things, guys, when it's not working out. Maldives, um, and use, there you go. You have Fiji, but you don't have Maldives. It's still fine. Okay, just put Maldives there, and you have Fiji and Maldives. Okay, so that should be fine. That should be fine. Cancel. The next one is to make sure that the amount is greater than, and come back here and make sure that the amount is greater than 90. Okay, amount is greater than 90, and there you go. Okay, so once we extract this data, the printout, print only this extract. Okay, you print only this extract showing values. Okay, so you need just to make sure that you just need to make sure that the printout fits on a single page, and then contents of the cell are fully visible. So what you're going to do is just to get this and go to file and print, and then print this. Okay, so we've not been told that the cell headings should be there, so you can go ahead and remove them. This one, the column headings, you can go ahead and remove them. You don't need them now. Okay, and also if you want, you can put this in landscape, or you can put it in let me see if we're told it should be landscape. No, printout fits on a single page, and then contents are fully visible. Okay, so it can be in landscape or it cannot be in landscape, but just make sure that when you do your printout, you have your name, center number, candidate number showing there. Okay, so okay, so the last thing that you're supposed to do now is to save and print your evidence document. Okay, so guys, this has been a quite lengthy video. Also, I've done almost 58 minutes just working on this, but it was worth it because now I had to go over a number of stuff so that you guys can understand. So I was doing this paper as well, coming across it, and so I had to take a lot of time figuring out on other things and stuff like that. So I'm gonna end here, and so this marks the end to the IGCSE ICT 2016 May June paper 3-1. I feel like I'm a commentator. The IGCSE ICT May June 2016 paper 3-1. All right, guys. So thank you so much, and I'll be recording more videos in the course of next year when we have the October-November papers released. I was checking the Cambridge website, the teacher support website, and currently I just see their 2016 papers. So we've done all these papers except the theory papers, but I've had some request from a number of you guys that you want me to start doing also the theory papers of or I don't know, but yeah, I'm still thinking about that, and God willing, I will consider doing theory papers as well, because that will mean start preparing the lessons and everything. There's a lot of work that is involved in preparing some of these videos and stuff. Okay, but for practical stuff, I just sit on the computer and start solving the paper and talking and stuff like that. But for theory, I would need to prepare work, powerpoints and all this stuff and teach. Okay, so I'll consider that, and we'll see how far we can go with that. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe, like, share, comment, and do whatever you can that is necessary. All right, so thank you so much. See you.